Krystle Howald, a women's health and orthopedic physical therapist. Today we're gonna go over 3 ways to make sure that your neck, back, shoulder pain goes away with breastfeeding. So number 1 is creating mobility, getting our back out of these flex positions. We're cleaning, carrying baby, breastfeeding baby. All of this entails flexion. So we want to create some extension moments. Some extension moments, you can find the edge of a chair and even lean back. I can move my butt at different angles. So I lean back like I'm on a beach. And I'm just really trying to relax into some of that extension. This could be really sore though, just because of the amount of time we're in flexion. We can do a prayer stretch. So for this, I'm putting my elbows on a countertop or a chair, and then I'm gonna allow my chest and my sternum to come towards the floor, and I'm gonna breathe into my upper back. So I'm gonna inhale through my nose, down my spine into that brow line, relaxing this area. As I feel it loosen up, I'm gonna sink my chest bone down closer towards the floor as if there were an anchor there. I'm gonna create more mobility by doing thoracic circles over my head. So I'm gonna inhale in, create space or mobility in my ribs here. I'm also gonna open up like this, so thoracic rotation. This is gonna immediately feel better, but it won't stay until we do the strength stuff. Number 2, we're really gonna work on strengthening this area. I can remember after my first, I had intense burning. Like I dreaded feeding my first child because it would burn so bad. And then the PT that I was working with was like, hey, you need to strengthen this area. Otherwise this will never go away. So I did. And then it went away. At home, I had a resistance band just in my breastfeeding kit. And then I also had one attached to our banister. So every time I walked past it, I would try to get a few reps in. So the first thing I can do is try to do TheraBand pull apart. So I'm gonna think about getting tall, like somebody's creating space or pulling the back of my ponytail upwards, creating space in my rib cage. And then I'm gonna bring my arms so that my elbows don't have a bend in them. I'm gonna pull the band apart, squeezing my shoulder blades down and back and together, engaging those muscles in the back that have been so sleepy. I can also switch to a diagonal pull apart. So one hand goes up, one hand goes down. I'm thinking about really dropping that bottom shoulder blade and stretching out the top one. Again, I'm really thinking about activation in the back of my scapula and those shoulder blades. Lastly, I want to think about rotating outward. Again, we're always stuck in this position as we're carrying kids, so this arm tends to drop in. So I'm going to really wake up some of my rotator cuff muscles. To do this, I'm going to hold my arms at 90. I'm going to drive one out towards the side. Thinking about this guy rotating outward like a screwdriver. And I'm gonna make sure I do this on both sides. Now with this, as I pull out, you wanna make sure that you're not tipping your shoulder blade in as I pull out, and my elbow's staying at 90. So again, I'm gonna stay nice and tall. My elbow's gonna stay there. If you're having a hard time, you can put a towel in between those guys. And then number 3 is making sure that you make small changes in your breastfeeding setup for success. We spend a lot of time breastfeeding, so we just want to make sure that our setup is optimized. So one thing that we want to do is roll up a towel. I can then place a rubber band or tape around it. This can just stay at my breastfeeding station. I love this because this goes underneath the side that the baby's actually feeding on. This helps bring baby to your breast instead of you bringing your breast towards your baby and getting stuck in that flexion position. I also really like using a tool like the Best Friend, which helps again bring the baby up, your baby feels supported, so that you can just focus on feeding instead of manipulating lots of different things.